setting up. Check. I never close it. Green glass key. Oh, that's the key. Beverage. Which category? Press the button. Audio levels will be fine. Okay. Transition right. Actually, like. Oh, that's music software. I'm like half considering making a i3 soundboard. I have like random dumb noises coming out when I press certain key combinations. Let's see what I want to do. Oh yeah. Well, maybe I want to make another scene though. Nah, much work. Just start. So yeah, I just had like a big training. I did like lifting and ran for 6 kilometers or something. It was fun. So where are we? Yeah. So last time we finished toast. Oh no, it's a localhost, right? No, we are past those days. Oh, using Firefox. Shouldn't use Firefox, too slow. Computer can't handle it. We need to have a fast browser. So my default browser is Firefox, but when I'm streaming it's just bad. Bad. Are people watching? Hi people, who's that? Anyway. So I killed the remote stuff. Right. Right. Is this remote? Yeah. Like, oh right, we were testing oh, it's a wow, it still works. It still So that's like a disconnect and reconnect or something? How does that work? Because I moved this laptop back inside and it was like on a different network, so okay, whatever. Apparently that works. Notification. Hey man, do you think? So what are you gonna do today is test out the stuff we just made. And I'm gonna test it on mobile too. I wanna do that. I need to have USB debugging. Well, that's a problem. I have too few USB ports. I want to do like the Chromium debugging. That's pretty cool. What else? Yeah, so I'm just like maybe gonna show it like this. Okay. People are saying stuff. The fly is still annoying me, that's great. What's this bigger? Oh right, I remember. We used to probably split screen or something. Not so good. The text should be centered too. I'm gonna do it by default. Fine? Maybe not. do you even do that? Like Vilma has these standard classes for you to use. But I don't know how to do it. Vilma, the best CSS framework. There's no JavaScript, so that's great for me. And why would I make my own CSS when I can just like borrow some, right? I'm getting so many compliments about the colors and stuff, even though I didn't make them. It's great. People think I'm competent. Yeah, all this stuff is still working. I'm like kind of amazed by that. Take this one. I like go to the next one. Are you happy? Right, Lama! I probably shouldn't shout. And the haskell. Last time. Thought I got rid of template haskell. Nice. So I wanted to do some backend development too today, but well, we'll see. I think maybe there's time. It should be pretty quick. Deploying is easy. I'll just change the title on the fly, it's fine. Leave it. It didn't do it. Was it too soon? Maybe we should just make it default for Dust. That is fine. It's fine. Still winded. Too much training. Why am I doing this? Oh. Oh. Why? No, I need to have the entire thing. Did I spell this right? Web application. Maybe we should just fix this thing. Do not be annoying about this. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should also like read this blog post. So I've like I've been calling everything spells and calling myself even a software witch. But there's a good reason for that. In the former day, long before the rise of the church, all spells were woven in pure causality. All actions were permitted, and death was common. Many witches were disfigured by their magics. Ground crumbled at the center of a circle, twisted. Glass-eaten trees and stone were burned and unceasing in the pooling water. Some disappeared entirely, or wandering along the ridge tops, feet never touching earth, breath never warming air. So much work, man. It's Indecidable instances. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's continue this. But that's for another day. I don't know, this winded maybe. I've been thinking it might be fun to like do reading of papers and stuff while streaming, but then I realized like, oh no, then I have to read and like read out loud. I'm kind of bad at that because I always want to talk fast. Maybe if I take my time. Couldn't you use the built-in lists? Chris asked, his brow furrowing. What? I have no idea what he's talking about. Oh, not without putting in a library. Yeah, type level list. Do you have it in a library? Oh, why would you even do that, man? Operation on type level list and tuples, together with the current versions. So, here's a question. What's the difference between a type level list and a tuple? The more upper source, the more arguments are missing from the function. Right, so you have these partially applied type level functions, I suppose? What is that? What upper source are you talking about? Oh. What? That's also something they do. They do like the type level construction of... they do construction of partial application of type level functions in this blog post. It's a very fun blog post. I love it. I've been laughing about it. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, and I've been watching TS Oding's stream too. Fun. Now I get it, like he calls everyone PHP coders. I guess I am one, right? Aren't we all? Like the foundation of our society, right? PHP. So we didn't get it. Didn't I save or something? I like his sugar abuse. I'm trying to avoid sugar as like the plague. He's just casually like, more sugar, Oh, sugar. Don't open that. I should have closed that. Let's kill it maybe. Where's it still open? Yeah, I need to kill that. It's in the root. Dead? Are you dead? Yeah, that was my email client. And I don't know if you noticed, but I I just like share the entire screen because I get so confused by multiple monitors. So yeah, I need to kill all the private stuff before opening the stream. And sometimes I forget. That's why I have the list, but yeah. I wasn't a good boy and didn't put everything to do. That's actually a thing I maybe want to do, like create a repository for a stream. Nah, I don't really want to track stuff on Git though. Reddit is much better. Oh, I get it. That Twitter message was probably a bluff from Pretzel. They're never gonna check that. That's fine. Just keep the default. And what did I do even? Not fix it. What? Is it JavaScript cache too? Do I need to like force refresh? Because this CSS is in JavaScript, so it shouldn't be. Didn't I force refresh? Let's look at that for. Once this is complete, we're gonna deploy to beta. Then I'm gonna test it on mobile on beta. And then if that works, I'm just gonna deploy. And it's like really not interesting to see. It's just a nick spell. Okay, I give up. I don't know. Yeah, it has text centered. Why doesn't it center it? Well, could you like... Okay, let's just copy this over. Now we can play with it. Oh, you... Maybe I misspelled. No. Text line center. What? Thank you. Thanks, browser. I thought maybe if I put it in a paragraph it would be text. Something? I don't know. accepted, right? But they escape. Maybe it's because we need to specify a white width. Now it's in the center. Okay, how about this? I'm gonna delete this. Delete this. And I'm gonna use a div. Where's my oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Do we have a div center? Probably. I'll just do it. Where's the widget, man? Where are you hiding? You can be white 100%. And everything works, right? But the other one scales to this size. So okay, never mind, let's just do it like this, I don't care. So it's a minor thing. My OCD is too much. I suppose we'll need integral numbers to store positions of our queens as well, you mutter. We'll work in positive coordinates only. So the usual opinion construction should suffice. Draw a thread of your hair and tie it in a knot for 0. Data Z, data S, N. And 0 is Z. And 1 is S, and then N0. Or 1 is 0 increased by S. Right? We're gonna pattern match on this. Later. You're defining natural numbers by hand? Why? This is actually like some kind of mathematical proof too. Anyway, we need to go back to our CSS troubles, man. We need to solve real problems with like Pinot constructions and type level programming. Yeah, maybe we should go back to the type level translation stuff. It's more fun. But it actually goes like really deep, this stuff. Like you define equality. Z and Z are true, of course. some s. It's like some number that's bigger than 0. And then a 0. That's not equal. Other way around, neither equal. And otherwise you're just going to do recursion. By going 1 down. So you're like peeling off one of both sides. And then going back. So you're matching on this and then going back in here. Right? I stared a long time at this stuff because I just like the text is so entertaining, and then I think I had a hangover too, so yeah. And then like I was just thinking about it randomly. I wish I could write like this. As a child, you learned the story of Kulvik and Hayaro, reborn 3 times from the fires of her trial, who traveled the world performing Cedar, the reading and reweaving of the future. Her foretellings, there were many, were famed, spoken of even the voile beyond the world, but it was her survival that changed history. Through ecstatic trance of Cedar, she foresaw her fight and conquered death. Her spells would never crash, and she became a friend to outcast women, the predecessors of your kind. It said that Odin himself learned immortality from her. To this day, all witches owe here a debt. Still here? Gulfric then here. Oh, she became here because she learned to perform Cedar and conquer death. Few delve into the ancient and structured magic nowadays. The very few languages in which your spells are written stabilized with Cedar, their syntax, channeling the energies you summon through safe paths, more or less. There are still occasional explosions, of course. They're just more of the eyebrowing singing variety than the type that would result in new interestingly shaped fjords. Is everything alright? Interview Chris. His best says is young. His customary is in the valley. Chris has bad says. Okay. Thank God. What are you doing? What? It would just pause the other tab? Pause! Right, I shouldn't shout. I'm sorry. It's a great challenge, pause. What am I doing? I should continue. Finish, right? Let's just deploy. Nothing can go wrong, right? Is okay? Okay. Is this okay? No, this is not okay. What I should do is I should commit first in my current computer. And I'm still gonna go deploy on the other computer because of reasons. But that's fine. So yeah, I can commit on the command line too. I've been using Emacs, but I sometimes forget for some reason. What did I even change? Nothing. I've been doing nothing. Okay. Other computer? Private. Portable, private. Portable, private. See? Okay, let's go there. Right, this is the branch we were working on before. We're gonna go back to that maybe tomorrow. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Anyway, gonna deploy beta. is how you deploy beta. It's completely automated. Actually, this is pretty normal, right? For people. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Well, the other project I adopted didn't have this kind of like automation for deploying stuff, so maybe it's not normal. I think it's normal. Let's read the blog post. This is gonna take a while. Alright, this is how you do it. You just do it in parts. Like as a pastime, I think. Is everything alright? The interviewer, Chris has bad says, is young. The interviewer, Chris has bad says, is young. As is customary in the valley. Wearing a hoodie, which judging from the lack of branding, cost at least $300. He resembles no animal in particular, which gives you pause. You're a witch. Usually you're better at this sort of thing. Do you mean in general? I don't think so. You look around the conference room as if to confirm the wall smell of Slack EMs, I don't know what it is, and conflict avoidance. Like typical office space. The Slack. I hope it's not something crazy. Slack direct messages, that's it. Oh well, you're probably right, he sounds bashful. But I'd like to do a little exercise with you nonetheless. Just simple programming puzzles, so I can understand how you solve problems. Once you solve the problem with a knife of sharded sky glass, you wonder whether Chris would have the strength to do what you've done. Maybe like using Vim to hack in some decompiled assembly or something? What is this? Like, I think Vim is a knife. So this problem is called n queens. It's very simple. Given an n times n chessboard, you need to find a way to place the n queens on the board safely. You draw an 8x8 grid on the whiteboard and neatly arrange the queens together in the center. They face each other in a tight circle to converse as equals. That's not right, you see. You just could kill any of these queens in one move. Are you unable, you ask, voice calm as tone, to imagine 8 powerful women in the same room without them trying to kill each other? It's just how the problem works. Wait, what? Using home modules. What does it even mean, this error? You can just delete Cabal, right? Let's do file watch once. It should regenerate things. Oh, maybe I committed like the wrong Cabal or something? Maybe I've been copying over the wrong Cabal. Yeah, and then the file watch fixes it again, right? It's like I'm not really using Cabal at all. But I'm using like that intermediate format called HPEG? I want to say HPEG, I don't know. And then with it's like Stack uses that, and I think it's like kind of neat, because then I don't need to specify which modules are open and closed. I don't really care about that. It's just too detailed for me. I don't care about that kind of encapsulation power. Yeah, let's just kill this and build. Yeah, look, it did something. Yeah, it misses those type. I'm tracking them, but yeah, not using it. It makes sense, okay? Well, I need it for deploy anyway, so makes sense to track. Don't get confused, right? This is remote machine. The other laptop. because it's private. And portable. Portable is our current machine. That's what did I do? Beta, right? Oh no. Maybe beta is default. That would wrong. Let's explore the depths of Cedar even more. Yeah, this is the way to do it. Just like as a sometime wait on compile messages. It's just how the program works. Perhaps they are matriarchs of a warring clans then, together to discuss the truths, but none trusting the other within a dagger's reach. This too has happened in the history of your kind. Can I use any language? Sure. Move quickly before he realizes his mistake. That's a nice one too. Yeah? Why is it a warning? I think you can do it without. We did this, right? I did this. Oh, this is Haskell. I studied this in college. He bought this in France. Indecidable instances? You must use this, you informed cheerfully. Oh, this is not overlapping instances, but it's undecidable, that's fine. Undecidable is just like to give the compiler a bit of a push to, you know, keep on deciding stuff. Because Hask is not a category. Alright, he blusters in non-termination argument of nobody in particular. That's why we used to think in subsets of Haskell where types don't have bottom values. You could do that, you concur, but so quietly you can. But so quietly he cannot hear you. Continue to believe the exact opposite and then doing like the bottom type. Nil. But this is undefined. Let's look up undefined. No, I want to have a package. Let's do the prelude. I don't really care about the wiki and stuff. There's too much text in there, man. I think it's in prelude, right? What's the loading? Undefined. So, for any, yeah, well, basically, it's an A. So, if you want any value, well, we can give you undefined. And it's fine as long as it doesn't get evaluated. So, this is basically null. You can insert it in anywhere you want in your Haskell program, and it will just like summon up a type for you to make it work. So in his type level programming stuff, because he knows he's not going to use it right, all the computation will happen at type level. He's going to make a shorthand for it. Let's see, which is nice. No. No, it's not a he, it's a witch, right? Well, I'm the witch. So it's like reading from. You inform him cheerfully. What is it called? Like a first person reading or something? Like, yeah. An uncomfortable question is coming. Head it off by blurting out the first thing that comes to mind. To store our queen in possession, we'll need some kind of linked list, right? Sure, or a vector. Lists are simpler. Okay, whatever floats your boat. Summon a linked list from the void. It floats to the surface of the screen. A timeless structure, expressed 1,000 ways, but it's always beautiful. You sigh contentedly. I don't even know why they call it cons. Constructor or something? I don't need know. Oh, like you need to have the next cons, right? So in goes nil in there, which is the current element, and the next element can go in there. Yeah, we already read this, but couldn't you use built-in list? Chris asked, his brow furrowing. What's that word even mean? Like curling or something? Make a red groove or trail in the ground. Something. Oh, like wrinkles, right. Yeah, that fits. Did we finish? Yeah, this is gonna take a while because it needs to build it, and it needs to build it fast. So, and it also needs to like optimize. Because Clojure compiler is actually pretty freaking useful for us. Because we spit out a bunch of slow as JavaScript. And it's like completely unoptimized from GHC.js. And then we just use the Clojure compiler that Google developed to make it go faster and make it be smaller and make it be better. Let's continue. Couldn't you use build and like this? Chris asked, his brow furrowing. What? You have no idea what you're talking about. Oh no. Not without pulling in a library. It's easier to just define it in line. Right, this is the this is to get out the first element of the list, maybe? Right, I am a function. I take in a list and out comes an X. Whatever my list is. So the value of the list will decide the outcome of X. And you can apply this restriction to make it, well, compile. It's fundeps. It's called fundeps, and it's like I believe it's like a shorthand for doing type families. Well, I've used it as a shorthand for that. Class keyword, yeah, they begin right like this is a function. I learned this from them here in this blog post. The class keyword defines a function signature. You remind Chris. Because like in every language you define a function by, you know, beginning a class. It's like the usual way of doing things, right? Right, we finished. Okay, we're gonna test. So I want to test on mobile, but I can show it. It's actually live now, right? So this is a real website. You can visit it if you want. Nice. You don't have to hack me this time. That's great. I actually don't know how I'm gonna do login, because at some point I need to do login, and yeah, everything I type is visible on screen. So maybe I just disable this thing then, or something. Well, I was kind of disappointed in you guys. You didn't even hack me. What the hell? Like, I had this password, demo, and it was also a live one, and nobody bothered like making going on a rampage. This is the old one. Maybe like that's still for demo though, or for the beta. Don't hack me! Why do I say these things? Look, this is a new one. This is cool. I think it's pretty obvious, right? I don't know. It's like a lot better at least. Let's test that out on mobile. Maybe I should reset the password too myself. No, this is Daniel, I want to do it myself. Don't hack me, guys. Damn it. Okay, never mind. Like, just hack me, whatever. Have fun. Go type in that. Oh, by the way, if you find any bugs or something, like, totally message me. Actually, I don't want to have that possible. Ah, no, this is not gonna happen anyway. This one I read like Cedar, right? That's the best kind of prosa. I need to kill a fly, wait. Sorry. I have the slow browser now. Here's the fast one. So the difference between Firefox and Chromium on mobile is really, really significant. Especially with this bad phone, like, this is a really bad phone. The cheap ass phone. You have no idea what he's talking about. Oh no, it's okay. Plus keyword defines a function signature, obviously. You reminds please. And like the fun depth is also a thing, right? You need to do that. Because it allows you to do output at type level. First taken a list returns a value x from it. There are two instances of our function. Haskell uses pattern matching to choose which to call. First on a null list, return null. First on a nil list, return nil. That's this one. And first on a const cell returns that cell's value x. So this is used for the value. And this is the rest of the list. You let it sink in and move concatenating two lists together. But we didn't have implication here. Oh, we just like skimmed over this previously. Right, I'm testing on mobile now. Shit. Yeah, so with the old CSS you don't see it anymore. That's a problem. Because what happens is these stupid phones, they keep caching the CSS. So it basically breaks the entire app. Oh well. List concat. If we have one list of nil and we have another list, then the concatenation of these two lists is x. Because, well, the other list is appropriate, right? It's the pattern matching, right? This is a function, remember? And the result is c for the third argument. Our pattern matching here first, right? If we have a list of cons here, PS here. Wait, what? I'm confused. I'm confused. I need to clear the cache of the phone. Then it works. Can I force clear caches? That's a good idea. No, I don't want to do everything, I just want to do one file. And so now I'm gonna hack haskell to interact with JavaScript natively, probably. Thanks, PHP! We're all PHP programmers, right? Yeah. How do you do this? Like, I just need to eject the file from the cache. So, CS. Yeah, there's just an API. Like, Stack Overflow is pretty fucking useless for JavaScript at all, because it always ends up being some random PHP shit. Or like, some random jQuery solution, even though like it's completely outdated, and so you end up studying these MDN pages a lot. And then like I go from these MDN pages to like JSettle. Stupid, right? And JSettle is like basically this is not the generated one. Where's the generated one? Maybe they're depending on it or something. The J is dumb or something. So far? Yeah. So this is, I believe this is generated from the browser somehow. This stuff. I have no idea how to do this. Let's ask. Support both DHCJS and the WebKit PDK. So yeah, our app works on WebKit too, and so we can compile it to Android, and yeah, that's cool. And also Apple.iOS. So I study. Maybe I should look if there's any caching. Of course there is. This API, by the way, is horrible. It's all like imperative JavaScript programming, but works. It kind of works with Reflex too, if you know how to pick it right. Do I know how to kick it right? Maybe sometimes it takes ages. I'm very persistent. Cache storage. Is this part of the DOM or is this part of... Because like Node also has stuff, right? And I believe JSettle is just also for Node somehow. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe not. people say like JavaScript code is portable between Node and Film, but there are a lot of asterisks to that statement, and it's the same with Haskell being portable to. If you use GCGS and PHP, you need to know that, like, for example, you can't open any sockets in the browser. You can, but it doesn't work with the native libraries, of course. I don't think it's here. So I use the index instead. Application cache. What is an application cache? Tell me about yourself. This is not an event. It's not a reflex event, I mean. It's another thing. Reflex is not that ubiquitous. You don't have to use reflex to use GCGS. It's not opening. Package crash again. Don't crash package. Cache instance is application cache. I don't even know how to do this then. How would I program this properly? Because I made the JavaScript always be reloaded every time. Just didn't want to deal with it at the moment. It's kind of bad, but like I got so many complaints the first couple of weeks just because the JavaScript wouldn't refresh. Because like even if I make it clear to cache thing, yeah, then like it keeps on doing it, right? So yeah, I don't know about that. This is annoying. Okay, I can just like disable the caching of the main.css anyway, nix, and then I'm out of ideas. We rename it. That's a great idea. It doesn't get cached anymore. You just rename the main CSS file and then everything works. Cool. So this is gonna be then we go to get head somewhere. Done. I think maybe I need to fix my build stuff too. But that's fine. We should make a variable for this. Well, that's the thing I learned from in Sydney, by the way. Make it's pretty fucking good. Would recommend. 10 out of 10 with rice. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need to commit this locally. So this is remote. It's local. We just renamed it. I'm thinking like maybe we should make a separate Nix build for the CSS. No, that's way too hard. Okay. Let's read about some more witches. Where was it? You got to sink in and move. I'm kind of gonna do this together. Right. And you pattern match on, if it's nil, you take this one, and if it's not nil, you pattern match on AS and A, and move the AS in here, and the BS in there, and you take out the result, the current A from the matched one. So this is the same element, put it in there, and the result of this function, you put it in here. See that? So we combined it, right? Because we pattern match some const. Put everything in that list in there, and this one in there. And we still have the same element. So this is the entire combination step. What is the arrow? Chris asked. Tell him it means implication. To obtain the list concat after the arrow, we need the list concat before the arrow. Right? So to obtain this, we first need to do that. So it goes back. Go from you match on this, and then you go here to get this result out. Realization dawns. Alright, this is recursion, because list concat appears in both positions. And the definition for null is the base case. Exactly. So proud of Chris. He's coming right along. And there's the generalized case, when we want to do concatenate a list of lists. What is a join? Let's see, list of lists, what is that? That's not a question or something. Good day. I have a list of No. These are chars, right? And I want to concatenate them all, so it's join, right? What I want out is just join, right? Are you making monads at type level? Let's see. So this is the current list we have. This is the output list. Because we're defining a function here, right? This is not a. This is just a function. Signature. If you have an empty list of lists, give back a list. Now, if we have a list chunk, we know this is a list of lists, so this is a list, and we can just concat it and get out the result in the accumulator. Wait, what is? Oh, right. Because it's the output of the remaining list of lists. So these are the other lists, and you put it in here to give it to this. And then we get the result out and put it in here. Wow. Still building. Any element of this list true? Any true? Oh, this is just not a function. So now we're actually doing stuff on value level, right? Like, we are showing that this is a boolean. We don't even know about boolean. How can we even do this? Because, you know, this type true, it is not a type. I mean, like, you know what a boolean type is? It's bool. This makes no sense, man. I don't know what this is. I'm super confused. But yeah. Yeah, he's defining it here. That's fine. This is, by the way, called a type constructor. But you don't need to define a value constructor, right? When I first saw this, I was so like, what? What's going on? It's just data. But yeah, you're just constructing a type, and you will never have a inhabitant of this type because you can't construct it. And it's fine. You're just doing type level stuff with it. I was wondering if I was talking to no one, but cool, people are watching, yeah. Yeah. So let's continue then. Did I finish? Right. We can check it out again. So we should have the new CSS now. Let's check it out. Why am I doing it like this? So let's see, network.
Where's Bane, the CSS? I know. What happened?
So actually, what I probably should do in the future is just use the SHA of the Nix build. Yeah, and that would always be unique for every deploy. And we don't have the issue that the CSS grows still. And I can do the same thing for the JavaScript. It's the problem with doing that is actually that I define this link inside the JavaScript. If that makes sense. Well, like inside the Haskell, right? This is a Haskell file, and I have these like links to the CSS and also to the JavaScript file. So I just like need to get some kind of random string for each build or something. But that would be like, then I would break Nick's ideas. Because the idea with Nix is that you can like, maybe I should just make like a SHA of this file. Well, no, this is this file. Okay, you got me, man. SHA of the source code or something. That could work. Like a SHA of the entire front end. What is the current commit? The current commit would be fine. I don't know. But that's for future me to worry about. I just want to make it work now. So yeah, let's test on mobile. And I have good reason to test on mobile, by the way, because yeah, it's like 80% of the users are using mobile, and they're using fast iPhones, so that's cool. But I want to test it, and that's like also why I'm gonna do the pre-render stuff in Reflex. I mean the server-side rendering, because I already do. I'm kind of doing that, but I should do it way more. Like, I should do the entire logging in stuff pre-rendered. And it will be fun. Also not that hard, actually, I think. It's just a lot of monad transformer, or the monad stack is a bit complicated, but I've gotten better at that. Like, I think this works. Oh. Yeah, success. Okay, this works. We're gonna deploy, man. Yeah, let's do a deploy. So this is because we already built the backend, the deploying of production will be fast. And this also fixes that other issue with the screen width overlapping with Sunday. So yeah, it fixes a lot of stuff. And we still have an hour, so we can start on the other thing too. Or an hour or two. Yeah, I don't know, like I'm kind of energized now, so maybe I'll continue until 1 o'clock in the night. Or 2 o'clock or something, I don't know. Maybe I'll finish something. I should change the title though. Okay. Yeah, that's now we're gonna do backend stuff. still read about witches though, because I love witches. I am a witch. So what are we gonna call this? Servant and being dragon. Because the thing we need to build. Yeah, this is done. Backup people. And this is going to be. We start with a database. Because reasons. I always start with database. I love databases. Yeah, we need to make a migration or something. Yeah, no, we should start with the protocol actually. Why don't they do that? So it's in the roster. It's entry maybe. I think I'm just gonna add a type. Maybe it's just work. Maybe I was a good programmer and it just works. I don't like this thing spamming the chat so much. Backup. What is going on? We deployed, right? Yeah, now it's running. Let's see. Does it log in? Yeah, so if we do the pre-rendering right, we'll just skip this entire loading screen. And the only thing that will happen is loading of JavaScript. So the reason we see that initial screen is because it's loading JavaScript. And then it can use JavaScript can immediately hook into that HTML and it will be right. And that would just save off like 4.5 seconds of loading. Something. Like in the common case. But this is demo, right? Yeah. That's we got it. We can use this through the entire app now. So that's cool. Because we made an event writer. And we can also use the event writer stuff to make a log. I'm thinking like adding a little log thing here or something, like they do in Google Cloud. But that's for later. What are you doing? Maybe this just works. Right, you need to select the role somewhere. I need to invalidate cache. Yeah, I should fix this maybe soon. I really want to get rid of this thing. What did it do? Wait, what? No. Work. So I need to do a migration for this. I'm not sure because I changed the enum and well, the old one is still linking to that one, to the restaurant of that one. So well, it's building. It's lying though. If it's just like a matter of adding this enum, doing the migration, and then making an extra button for the planner. Oh, I also need to display the value. Right. So no, I suppose this is also mostly front-end stuff. Well, that's cool. Little servant stuff also. I haven't thought this feature through yet too. Like, how does it interact with the rest? Is it just like call or something? Maybe. Let's spark this one and do the type level translation stuff because I'm in the mood for that. Let's fix a massive compile error instead. Yeah, let's just put it on a branch or something. Because I need to think about this more later. Well, apparently it's pretty trivial to do, so that's cool. Yeah, so let's merge in. Talking about boy. I can just remove the boom stuff. Like I used the cable file, so I just ignore them kind of. But I don't know how to. This is okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. Fine. I don't think we're using symbols anymore, so. Fine too. Like the symbols idea was really cool. Actually, change the title again. Like maybe I just do it haskell then. Okay. I don't know if or anyone wants to see back there, but I don't really have anything right now for that. Do I? No, I'm just gonna do type level translation. It's more fun. We're witches, right? Like we're reading the blog post about witches anyway. So where is it? Typing the coding interview, right? Is any of the elements true? This stupid cobble file, I don't care. Just do something, man. Like, it's gonna get overwritten anyway. Why is there so many? Type families, type operators, or data kinds. I want to buy both, actually. Oh, I know, just USB then. Machine like a pro. Fuck's this? A is local, so local is lang. B is remote, and we need env because of I will see. Like this will just complain, right? It's an import. Who cares? Yes, kill it. Kill all the things. Just goddamn kill the things, man. Why are you even complaining about this, man? We need to use darks. This is too softcore. But do you build? I know for a fact you don't build, so don't lie to me. Why don't you send? Oh, you stopped. We'll go send again. Why did you stop anyway? Could not find model data symbol utils. Right, we deleted that. That's fine. Need to invalidate the cache because stuff changed. Format. There you are. 19. I can just delete this entire module. So this module is actually pretty freaking cool. Maybe we should show it off. So what this does is, well, you may actually see some familiarities with and witch stuff, because this is also a seeker. And how does it call it, seeder or something? Seeder. Yeah. And we're just doing pattern on symbols. But the reason I'm not using this is because it doesn't work with Chinese. So it doesn't work with Unicode, so it doesn't work with German, it doesn't really work with Dutch, it doesn't really work with any other language. So it's not really a translation framework at all. And the reason it's not really a translation framework is because I stole this from a blog post and I thought I could just retrofit it to translations. But C.S. O'Connor, I think. Let's do this. There are not that many people. KCS Songer. Right, I just stole this guy's work, basically, and tried making it into UTF-8 symbol parser thing, but I failed miserably because I ended up with a type of like 38 MB. And turns out that types of 38 MB don't really compile that well. And then, yeah, I kind of gave up. So now, goodbye. We don't need to anymore. Because we're gonna do a lesser approach, but it's still pretty good. Like, better than the type thing. Not surprising, because sometimes thing is kind of horrible. And it's still C there, I think. We have families. We have even have polykinds. And not so polykinds. And I also kind of stole this too. So yeah, this is really not invented here. But that's fine. Like, I'm solving my own problem, and I'm gonna use this to upstream a bunch of other stuff, like release a bunch of reflex libraries. Because then the translations will be versatile while not having to do any modern stuff, which is cool. And hopefully it will also be easy to use, but right now, yeah, it's a work in progress. As you will see. Why is something crashing on this one? Oh, it's crashing on both. Good. So where we left off is we basically deleted the old translation function, but we kept the module because I need the strings. Because I can't spell. But that's fine. I'm not a spell witch, I'm a seeder witch, apparently. Seeder. kill you? Yeah. Can I kill you? Yeah. Take some space. Let's focus on that one first. So this is actually in the backend. Because I'm doing server-side rendering right. And for email I also needed apparently some translation. So I just did some stuff. Maybe? I thought I was like in the process of fixing this last time. But it doesn't like it wants to have some applications. Okay. We'll just give them some applications. Yeah, it wants more applications. It's fine. I'm not sure which one goes first. No, you do is the temp, then the front, and then the theme. So the way type level applications work is you fill up these slots one by one. So this is gonna fill up miserably because I'm now putting the reflex timeline into the template slot for the translation. Right? This is going first. But it needs it. Yeah. Just still failing on that. So you can now kind of clearly see that these are indeed separate projects and they kind of swap out on compile errors sometimes. I just kind of wanted to ignore the front end for now and just focus on this. Let's go. Why so much focusing on that one? Do the other one. Well, give it what it wants. And actually, now we're gonna push out these functions into the type of these things. Right? We're gonna get rid of this. Oh no. Fuck. Yeah, we're gonna need a type level map. Maybe, no, maybe we can do it with proxies. Okay. What about actually it's giving us a bit of a bone because No, it's not. What does this DOM drop down thing want? Dynamic map of a text. Yeah, that's a problem. And the reason that's a problem is because we need to hide text into just being a function. It's like the conference. Because we don't hide it, we're gonna say this proxy will have some kind of template and they need to be all the same. That's the restriction we put upon ourselves if we do it like this. Because this is gonna be the type, right? So what you do is you hide the instantiation of template and only show this part, the fun. And if you know the fun, like the fun is the eventual thing it returns, right? Which may be text. Yeah, we know that these known trends need to be text. So we can just say this. And now it put like a massive restriction upon ourselves. Languages to known trends to fun. Select line. Give me a language and known trends, and I can give you fun. So this is what we need to do. And because we know known trends text will return known trends will return a text, we can get a text out and fit it into this thing. The map of text. So just put a bunch of restrictions upon ourselves and make it work. That's fine. And that's the same thing this is doing, kind of. But it's gonna break all the code that's dependent on this because it's just a different type. But that's fine too. Probably relatively easy to fix, maybe. Yeah, easier than this. Definitely. We can just view. What am I doing? In a lang. Just view what language is used. Lang tag. I want to have a lens for this. Never mind. Let's just do this. Right. The intention is that I'm actually going to use this a lot, but for now it's fine. So select lang, and we just gonna. What am I composing it with? So select lang. Right, so we just fmap into. Wait, what? Does this make sense? What? It fell. Oh. It fell in. Right, we're using it. Oh, that's so annoying if you have to do it like this. So completely in reflex fashion, we just sample for an init file and then also pull out the event and set it like this. We select the language here with the lang tag from the language, which we pull out of the ether with the lens, which is upon this restriction, right? We are language widget, so we can use that view upon this monad. This monad. And then we fmap into values. So we apply this select lang function upon all these values, which are known trends of text. And this select lang, which is partially applied, will do that and then return the text. Okay, cool. Now we're inside. Oh, this shit's broken. Oh, the email compiled. Maybe that's what. Probably not. Who knows? Moving on to DOM. So we're just gonna delete the messages and do this kind of stuff, right? Do you require? Yeah, you require ambiguity. That's really bad, actually. Maybe you should make like a message, like a carrier type or something. Use proxy. Because now, like, I'm gonna use this text thing. Yeah. But what is it gonna, like, you know, be? This is far. So I need to push this type level magic up one level. Not scope, not trans, not scope. That's just alternating between modules apparently. Oh, you're not exporting it. Useful, right? L like that. I'm importing a qualifier for some reason. Oh right, right. Language is dynamic, so this is gonna be applicative then. Yeah. Oh no. Wait, this. Ah, this one. Yes, that's not bad. Okay, so this is a dynamic of language, which we want. So we fmap into it with select line. And then we have this dynamic. Of this part, right? But this is a map outside of it with no trans text. So I'm putting this in constant and you get this value, which is a map. But I wanna use fmap on this, inside that. It's all wrong, man. Maybe, oh, not fmap. Maybe compose fmap. After. I'm just doing random shit now. This is not how you should do it. But sometimes it works. I don't think this will work. Or it does work, okay, whatever. Drop down values. Which is a dynamic. Oh right, this is the other thing. Oh wait, this worked? What? Okay, man. Variable not with scope texting. Oh, this is the dumb stuff. Like, so maybe this module now compiles, and we finished one module. Like 80 to go or so. 63 to go. 43 to go. Or 40. Yeah, we're getting there, man. Like, we'll be fine. We'll be home by Christmas, maybe. Don't worry about it. So this is the other problem, like, this requires ambiguity. I'm kind of considering, like, making a different sort of message that is just unknown trans that returns text. Or I should just use proxies. Because I'm not gonna use ambiguity everywhere, right? We can try it without. Ambiguity? Dom. Trans. Where was I? TDXL. This thing is ambiguous. And I thought like it's fine for call sites. But now I'm realizing I have actually layers on top of my layers on top of my layers. So these are like helper functions to make dealing with HTML easier. And they also, you know, have messages. So even though these things are convenient for just random call sites, it's not convenient for these kind of in between layers, because now I need to do all this stuff and the ambiguity inside this entire module, which is pretty big. Like, big for me. I like to keep small modules. Did you see the toast function I made? It's like one module function. One function module. Let's be. Okay. I should use proxy. maybe? Maybe not. So we can use proxy because this is not a dynamic. I'm still realizing smart. Oh, you're smart. Look at you. We use known trends instead. Because this construct is still weaker. This proxy construct is still weaker because we can't fill it up with the fun. And the fun is like the GLT thing. Even though in the message we could do that, right? Because this is just an ordinary LT, so you can like put in random values as a product of the sum. Makes no sense if I say it out loud, but what I mean is you can put in extra arguments in this thing, right? You can put in a day, for example, or minutes worked, something like that. So you can just like make these arbitrary extra values to your message, and I'm faking that with the fun by just like having this function be. We don't know how this function looks in the intermediate layer. We just know it exists. In this case, we're making it equal to text, so we can deal with it. But for example, if we have arguments, we don't know how to deal with it. We're just asking the user to provide us a way to give us text, and then we can deal with it. So we need to support this one. And we do that by using known trends, I think. And this is also not ambiguous. Where's the here then? Good question. Why aren't you using smart? Why aren't you smart? Yeah, let's use known trends. It's pretty handy. And the extra argument for, oh yeah. So we get fun. And then we get another promise. And this may be it in many cases. Or two arguments. points you can undefine type. Maybe even type family. No. Maybe? Because if fun is equal to text, you don't need a second argument. Such a convenient API. Or deal with this. I just enforce text, but let's look at where label is used. Labeled. Not use that much at all. Maybe just delete it. It's labeled Brian. Actually, that labeled prime, that's way way better. Look at that. Now I can just use ambiguity, the ambiguousing function, and we still get the structure. Why would you even have this function? It's just called that labeled. Next wait, what? Yeah. Let's fix those compile errors later. Okay, we solved one. How many to go? Yeah, I think I'm gonna continue until 1. So it's now almost 12. Tomorrow I promised another stream. Let's do some management of schedules. First, have a little mental break from type level problems. So, next streams. Friday, that's today. Saturday, tomorrow at 2. I'm gonna do Sunday like a random stream, just like work on other stuff. I'm thinking like maybe viewers can help or something. Just post IDs in a subreddit if you want to. If you have any. PHP, yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah, I have ideas for PHP, man. Like, so PHP are you can attach like you can think of PHP files as functions. on HTTP, right? You can like do currying and stuff like that. What is that even? What face? Monday I'm gonna crash and burn. Oh, pretzel thing again. Aren't actually like people streaming PHP? I wonder what they do. I wonder how I can like mess it up. Something ridiculous. I know what they want. Let's delete this one at least. It's no longer Friday. I'm just gonna make like short-term things only. Cool. Guy who made PHP just made it so designers could call his C code designers. You call those people designers? Like a mock-up language. Hmm. Is it even C code? So yeah, we solved that other problem by just like deleting it, which is a great way to solve problems. So talk by him. Really? You have it? Or is it like in real life? These functions are kind of dumb. We just delete them. Use at like 2 places. That's wonderful, man. Yeah, I should totally delete them. So like PHP is super popular in the Netherlands. All the web shops are using them and they're all using the same system. Like all the technology in the Netherlands is web shops. Which is wonderful. I'm telling like, dude, I know about Cedar. Why did it have it? Who traveled the world performing Cedar. Oh, cool. Oh wait, open Firefox. Do a slow one. Really? Let's hear it. Right, I need to crank up the thing too. Probably. Of course you don't. No audio. There's no audio.
Well, I think the slides are not going to work very well. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get to the beginning. All right. So, my slides are online at this URL, which is what I'm trying to show in a really crappy browser. I started the PHP project back in 1993 or so, writing lots and lots of code in C that looked like this. I don't expect you to be able to read
We're watching this now, by the way.
Can I kill this? A little bit better.
Just go faster though. I'm impatient.
So I wrote lots and lots of code like this in C, and it just didn't work. It was too much putting HTML inside C code and recompiling just for minor little changes. So I wanted something better.
Yeah, like parser combinators, man.
Which one's not this one?
Parser combinators?
This one?
Pretty printers.
Thank you. So lots of people switched to using Perl, something called CGIPM, which is a Perl module for writing web applications, and I still didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I was writing HTML tags inside another language. Easy to build a website based on these components that you write in C or C++. As it turns out, that's not quite how people use PHP. What ended up happening was that PHP came right at the time when the web was exploding. Web developers were going crazy. People were trying to get their ideas online really, really quickly. And there weren't enough C developers and C++ developers that were interested in doing web development. Most of them found it a little bit, it's a fad, it's never going to go anywhere, it's not real programming. They weren't that interested. And you ended up with a lot of non-programmers that were assigned to be the web development team. It usually started at companies, where companies said, well, let's put something on the web. Let's put the web page up, and let's start by putting out documentation online. So they would ask their technical writers, hey guys, can you put your...
That explains a lot, by the way. Like, they assigned the non-technical people to web development, and now we ended up with PHP, you know, like the entire standard library and stuff. It's just so crappy.
Sure.
I mean, they have like this function construct in PHP, and it's just... It's not a function. Like, I don't know what it does. Microsoft it's just like a little bit of isolation for something, for some reason.
Or save as HTML, copy it to the web server. Great. We now have a website with some content. But then the month after that, they might come and say, well, could we put our inventory and our price lists and things online? Oh, by the way, all this stuff is stored in a database somewhere. So technical writers, documentation team, just go do that. Connect to the database, write a dynamic website. And there is no save as dynamic website in Microsoft Word. They were kind of stuck. How are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to build dynamic websites quickly? And that's where a lot of people stumbled on PHP. Everything about PHP was geared at the web problem. All the documentation had examples of how to do things on the web and how to solve basic web problems like that. So people loved that. Lots of copying and pasting of examples directly into people's sites.
Like
and it just worked. First thing they tried usually worked. So at that point, I kind of shifted gears. I gave up trying to convince people to write stuff in C or C++ because there just weren't enough people interested in doing that. And I focused more on the ecosystem around PHP as a web solution. So one of the things that I focused a lot on was how are people going to use PHP? How are they going to get access to it? And one of those things was the shared hosting ISPs, right? Most people didn't have their own server.
So that guy's the inventor of PHP. $115 or WE? What does WE mean? Oh.
Switched to using Perl, something called CGIPM, which is a Perl module for writing web applications, and I still didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I was writing HTML tags inside another language. I wanted something that looked more like that, right? So I wanted HTML to look like HTML, and I wanted a few magic tags mixed in to do interesting things. And this is what I wrote, basically. I wrote a very simple templating system that let me access and assign tags to my C code. So all my business logic was written in C, but I got access to it via this templating system.
Okay. RIP. Yeah. Yeah, but I was like, I don't really care about his intent. I mean, usually I care about people's intent, but whatever. Yeah, I was like, so the Eevee. I stole, by the way, the my website thing from Eevee, but they have like this blog post and it's just ranting on PHP, which is fun. But then again, like, you know, I have to do a bit of PHP for the company. I adapted the project, and now I have this Haskell stuff running next side to PHP. For example, the email client is like some PHP code that calls like a .exe because they .exe because I didn't want to like write email in PHP. It seemed really hard. So I'm just like doing IPC in PHP. I have like a little library for it and everything. It's really cool. Rip. Right, let's continue suffering. Right, I wanted to do that, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. I mean, like, I was working here, I was thinking, maybe we're gonna do like a non-trans alias or trans or message. It's fun. And then also, like, you know, it needs to have this. And then be whatever. Be in a negative position. And like fun. Be. But I'm not like making things easier by doing this. So I was like kind of hesitant. Just like sugaring crappy API. Yeah. About the PHP, right? Like, is the talk interesting? Or should we watch it or Well, he's famous for designing PHP, that's like wonderful. Oh, I'm still having the pretzel thing on. Kind of annoying in chat. Ow, that hurt. Haskell? I don't know, I've never used XML in Haskell. Haskell is like the thing that does Haskell is like concurrenting, right? Just use auto parser. No, you probably have like some standard parsers XML. I would look for lens-based stuff though. But I like lenses and well, there is a thing. That's even for conduit. I don't like conduit though. So let's go to somewhere else. If you know how to use lenses, that may be a good one. Excellent. Good question. I don't know about Haskell. Oh, it's like a package. So is there like a, you know, package for it? TechSoup. Yeah, I've heard about TechSoup before. Maybe it's like... AXT. That's the one. TechSoup. Oh, this one. I don't know what this is. Like, there's no hackage for it, so I don't understand. It's too much text, man. Fuck. Why don't they have a hackage? Oh, there's a hackage. Oh, wow. That's a lot. Oh, they have arrows! Oh, that's cool. If you want to impress your colleagues, you know, use the arrows. I've been studying that paper. I still have it on the same page as yesterday, but yeah, it's a fancy, better monad thing. Well, not better, but more generic. Oh, it's like entirely arrow based, or what? I thought it was just like if people want to use it, kind of thing. Or it's just completely arrow. Actually, it may be a nice fit for XML. So, is XML parsing like commutative on trees at the same level? Like, say we have three. Tried it today, but there was has to be a better way to get it work. Has to be a better way. Like, no, the arrow has a syntax. Like, you're using probably like the combinator stuff like that and that, but you have arrow syntax in Haskell, which is basically do syntax for, but now you're using this thing instead. Yeah, it's this one. I don't know how it works, by the way, but you have it. So if you want to use arrows, I'll look into that. I should also like fix validation with arrows. I think it's possible. I believe. I have terrible ideas about using XML. Isn't like XML also Turing complete and stuff? Yeah, now you got a problem. So what about the type I didn't want to make? What about... What about... Maybe that's like just the way to do it. Like... It's even more flexible, right? Where's this thumb? I don't know, I like it. Just solve it later. Push it out. Because otherwise I need to do the double thing. And it's bad API. But if you can use this stuff on the call sites, it's like a really nice API. Well, not for args, but for text. Yeah. Teldine. GSC idea. I maybe I want to look into that. Yeah, I was thinking about looking into that, but I don't know how to combine it with Nix right now. And like Reflex is completely hooked into Nix. I am completely hooked into Nix. Is it much better? Like, well, maybe I can like just quickly try it. It's maybe a good idea actually. Yeah, this is just a shell script that's on FileWatch. I'm not sure what's happening. It's even faster. Are you telling me I didn't have to do my like entire botnet thing? Yesterday I spent like I think like 2 hours getting rsync to work with using Kabel, kind of. It's doing the new build thing. Maybe it's doing well, not really. The GHCGS stuff is also doing it, but it's in a different shell, so I don't get why it didn't work. New build all? Yeah, that's it. That's it. I saw it like after the command used it too, right? What I really want to do is get this thing to work. But I have to run Kabel P2 REPL. I don't know what that means. Kabel field 2 REPL? let's just say that I have like a basic understanding of Kabul. What does dance game do? Mean? Yeah, Haskell IDE engine. I can just like jam it into Emacs. But the problem is that I have these separate projects that all have these Nix shells, and I need to boot up a different IDE engine per project to have a proper IDE experience. Even though my Emacs is booted globally. So I need to do a bit of Lisp hackery to make that work, maybe? No, because the IDE engines are like service, right? I just need to like combine the two together somehow. I have to tell GCD IDE to use that or we on my phone. Okay. Help. Oh, it actually installed. So I suppose Reflex people use it too? Let's give more space. Kabul v2 shell. Maybe it's like an argument or something. Want? So GTI or Kabul REPL. Yeah. Then you said. Okay, command is Kabul v2 REPL. Okay. So let's do that. Recognize command. Maybe it's like an ancient version of Kabul. I don't know. Hey. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Anything. What new rebel all? Come on, man, why? Gotta break my balls like that, man. The current version of GTI do not support leading multiple components as source. Load just one component, and when you make changes to a dependent. Okay, so I just need to open up a bunch of shells, I suppose. So like, how about I just do like front end on one, and then on the other one we just do like, wait, this is on the remote machine, right? We just do backend, and then we have multiple shells, right? He's happy about Nixos. Look at him, like, oh, smiling. Wait, did you notice? Oh, it's like this. Turk is also smiling happily. I mean, I only see smiles, man. Okay, crap, I didn't save the thing. Okay, just kill it. Yeah, I need to put this in make files now. And we do backend, and now we have support for multiple projects. Of course. Stupid thing. It's called multiprocessing. It's like a thing, you know? Right, and we keep this one running too, because reasons. Oh, that one's all good. That's nice. So let's break it, see if it works. Doesn't work, man. Why does it reload? Is it doing like a file watch or something? What is it doing? How does it know if files change? Because I'm like sending files over, right? Every time. To the other machine. Because the other machine is faster. And has like no OBS running, which is a memory and CPU hog. I mean, I still have the file that's running, right? Yeah. So this thing is sending it to the other machine. And both these GHCID things are running on the remote machine. And now I'm expecting, once they receive the new files, to notice it. What are you doing, man? I blame Nixos. Yeah, but what is it doing, right? Like, how does it work on the water? Why can't it just enter? I assume it's like a file watch, right? I think I just broke this, and it just doesn't like parse errors. It can only do other errors. That's fine. Because it's in line. Should be fine now. We have complicated setup. Yeah, but like I need to stream too. And I want to have like a fast stream. I mean, I don't want to wait. I'm impatient, like crazy. And that laptop was just sitting there over there doing nothing, and I was like, let's use it. But even then, like, if it's just doing a file watch, it should just work, right? This isn't doing a file watch. It's kind of dumb. It's just a shell script. It's like 2 lines of code. Yeah, 5 lines of code. Okay, this is common. Oh, frontend is fast. Nice. Okay, let's see. Try again. So this one noticed, this one didn't. Maybe it's waiting for the file. Oh, that could be it. Oh, maybe it's more clever than the other one. Yeah, look at that. Nice. It's better. Thanks, man. I need to remember these spells, though. I'm gonna forget. I don't remember anything. Ever. I don't trust my memory at all. PHP. Okay, I can kill this one actually. I can't believe this works. Yeah. Make files, amazing. Gonna commit this separately. Okay, we can do this, guys. So, to the new way of doing things, we just make everything a monad and then things works. Text. Label. Tip. Yeah, so it's like reading the blog post, right? About typing the coding interview. It's a fun one. I'm not gonna read the intro again, but like they do some things, right? And some other things. And some better things. And then, you know, they start off with defining functions. This is a function, of course. And then, you know, casually defining list concatenation. You know, do it like any true in a list. And then we just do some basic logic. The Pinot construction, because we need to be able to count. And do equality, stuff like that. You know, spells. Yeah, it's type level. It's actually what I'm trying to do here, right, with the language stuff. Because, let's see. This is also a type level function, type family. It's just a different way of defining one. And we see something familiar here. But I also have like inhabitants. I'm a noob. I need inhabitants. Oh, it's lying. It thinks it can get away without monads. Tooltip. I mean, all of this shit is solved just by using a monad everywhere. No, it's not. Okay, so the tooltip one is a special snowflake. Because it needs to have text. Dynamic text. Yeah. So I think I have like zero support for this. because of what I've been doing is just jamming everything in the monad directly. Even my most flexible. Oh, that's this one, the badass one. So what you need to be doing is give me back my Andes. And compile. How do I make it reload? Does it realize the other stuff needs to be reloaded? That's annoying. I have no idea what's going on now. So, Cabal is part of the compiler, right? Well, we tried. I mean, if it works, but like it doesn't even detect if a dependency needs to be reloaded. So that's not really good. Can I force it to reload or something? Yeah, we're doing it right. This is what I want. Build tool. What do you mean? Oh, Cabal is a build tool, right? Yeah. But now it's impure. But I can be impure. Now we can evaluate. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's so deeply integrated in. I can't even find like a source repository of Cabal. Okay, I lied. That guy. He made servant. So actually I want to make like a flexible thing and then copy this. Make it dum one. Dum 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 dum. Let's be cool. I know how to do functional stuff sometimes, maybe. Like a spaceship. so. Sexton? What is that, man? How is that even a word? What is this X, man? I mean, can it be 0? The hell? You're at least torturing me, man. You just suggested. This is also so annoying. They keep me busy with redirects. Why? I need to be dumb. Of course. Dum. Couldn't you at least suggested that? Oh, he's doing that. Touche, man. Can you import? Oh, I've done double or something. Yeah. Format. Stylish. Stylish. Why? Thanks, man! Error! Stylus haskell ended with errors. Leaving buffer alone. I mean, things happened and then I was there too. So, you know. I can tell stories. Right, we can't do this. We need ambiguity. Or yeah, I think in case of tips we can be restricted. So let's look again at you? No. Non-trans. Non-trans? Well, I actually want to do like where was I? Oh yeah. Did I misspell? No. Maybe it just doesn't send it over or something. That could be the case. Yeah, that was it. Tip. Can't match known trans with message. Well, does message even exist in real life? Why aren't you building, man? Okay, we're there. We're at the point. Yes. But now we have a known trans. And we know how to make out of fun text because it's text, because it's simple message. So we can just like combine everything, right? And then we get a text out and put it in here. And this thing will just take care of that stuff. Is it even exposed like this? Seems rather silly. Yeah, it's exposed. So the idea I had at the beginning was like just force translation everywhere by just never exposing things like that. So never expose text or text, but always just exposing, well, basically this. But we make an exception here for some reason. And I'm not gonna investigate why right now. So I have enough hay on my fork, if that's a saying. Should be. But let's see. Message. It's just a monad, so whatever. This is it, so whatever. And then we get the result. And we don't need line. And line is available to this thing through the context because we're in a reader. Yeah. Variable not in scope. That's a problem. Didn't I export it? This is now the most flexible one by not doing this, and we can use it here. So if I want to complete my dream of only exposing this API as text, we should get rid of this part, but not today. Last one. We finished another module, only 40 to go or something. I was looking here, like still busy with email? No, 40 to go. That's fine. We'll go through it. What? Yeah, I'm using this for a bit. That's problem. It is traversing or what? Text stuff. And you're capturing a monad that accepts message, jams it into a monad. Message. But this is. What the hell is this, man? Like, I'm just making manually a traverse around some structure. Probably will not the scope text in. Oh, actually, this is just resolution. It's what it's failing upon. So we don't even know if our fixes work right now. Great. I'm gonna make this also simple message. So I don't wanna. It's not even escaping the dynamic in Haskell. Yeah, man, this is reflex. But actually, like, this is not really well, it's kind of FRP, but this thing is an invention by the reflex authors. It's like a behavior and event in one. Every time the behavior changes, you also get an event. And that turns out that's pretty useful for browsers. But what dynamic are you referring to? Simple message. Let's go type it. Oh, simple message. Perhaps you meant simple message. Yeah, perhaps I did. What does it do? I'm stupid. Let's just carefully look at what I made. And no. Replace the misspelled simple message with the other misspelled but correct simple message. I realize that. No, that's supposed to do that. Let's just do this. No, this one. How about this? Right? Works. Maybe. No. I lied. Because already died. Yeah. So we need to eat. We need to fill up with this with the const it. And then we can just eat the simple message. You're talking about, boy? Could not deduce known trends. Ik. Just derive it. Why do you need ik? Oh. But it's like a phantom type, so it doesn't really matter, right? Or is it? Yeah. Yeah, you'll be fine. Why do you need ik to check emptiness? Okay, let's make an instance. No. I just care about the types though. A structure known trends has existential type variables in its type. Possible use, standalone deriving declaration. Okay, fine, I'll do that. I think it's like deriving instance, right? I don't need it for text though. What the fuck? Could not deduce temp 1, k1, temp k from the supported blah 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 found by blah 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 blah. Do you need polykines or something? Oh, where did I have it? Let's make an own instance. We don't really care about it anyway. Or false, whatever. But why do you even need it for an empty check? It's stupid. mean, if the types of these are equal, the entire thing is always equal, right? So this even makes sense as an instance. Because we already left the type safety to ensure both of them are the same, so it's fine. And it compiles, guys, like, or witches I should call, right? Software witches. I'm amazed every time. Yeah, but I'm gonna call it quits now. It's like 1 o'clock at night here. And I wanna wake up early tomorrow again, so. Let's see if it works though. This is not a module, so like we're one ahead. This means there's progress. And now we're actually gonna use stuff, so that's more fun. But I'm gonna call it quits though. So yeah. Delete a lot of shit. Let's see. So yeah, see you guys later, man. Was fun. Tomorrow again, by the way, at 2 o'clock. I think most people are sleeping. Goodbye.